This is a video by Richmond. Today we're working on a Saturn S series, and what we're doing today is we're dealing with a fuel gauge that does not read correctly. Have you ever noticed this about your fuel gauge, that it constantly reads very low? You're right on empty, you keep on going, you keep on driving, and the needle is below empty and you're still driving? Well, what we have to do is we have to recalibrate the fuel gauge, and that's what we're going to do today. First thing we're going to do is open up the trunk, peel back the trunk liner here on the bottom, and then on the side, peel back this liner. Now, before we go any further, we need to gather two tools to do this procedure. We need a little timer. You can go into your kitchen and probably grab one of these. And we need a test light. This is the connector in back of that panel you removed that we'll be working on. You'll know the right one when you see that it has 3 wires on it, and they are colored gray, purple, black, and white. This is the connector we'll be working on. Now, the next thing we're going to do is take the back of the driver's seat and lay that down as much as we can to the back. Next, we're going to take the end of our test light and clip that to a good ground. Right here where the trunk latches onto is some good bare metal, so we're going to clip it right there. Next thing we need to do is set our timer for 15 seconds. Now, to start our procedure, what we're going to do is we're going to start up the car, we're going to keep it running, then come back here to the trunk, and we're going to take our test light and we're going to probe the connections while looking through the back window at the fuel gauge, and we're going to keep probing till we see that the meter on the fuel gauge pins over to full. Now, when it does that, you want to set your timer going, and at the end of 15 seconds, take the test light off the connections and shut the car off. Okay? All right, let's do it. There it goes. Just pinned over. All right, that's it. Now, what we want to do is leave the car off for 10 minutes and then restart it, and it should be higher than it was when we started it. Now, if we're successful, the fuel gauge will now read higher than it was when we started. So let's see if it is. I believe before we did the procedure, the needle was a little bit to the left or the empty side of half full. So that means the procedure worked. So that's all it takes to repairing a fuel gauge on your Saturn S series that reads low.